everyone. This is awesome. I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds because people are all jumping on. So I want to make sure that everybody gets to enjoy the whole program. I'm recording, so no bad language, please. And we've already got some chat here. Candy from Virginia Beach. Hi, how are you? Welcome back. Cindy Reynolds. Hi. Put in the chat where you're from and just give us a little wave as we get started here. Oh, wow, we have loads of people all coming in at the same time.
It's wonderful. Right. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, hi, Wanda. Hi, Jonathan. Awesome. Well, listen, as people come in, I'm just going to get us all started. Firstly, I wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today. This is the second in our series of Holiday Bootcamp, which has been so fun. I hope those of you who were able to join us on Monday really enjoyed it. We had so much fun, and I don't know about you, but my head was exploding with all the amazing ideas that Joyce came up with. And we have another amazing head exploding program coming up for you. But firstly, I wanted to say thank you to all of you for joining us. Thank you for all the lovely emails you've sent. Thank you for answering the surveys. And thank you for your encouragement and support. We love you all. I want to also to thank Teleflora. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Just for being the leaders in education and for allowing us to bring these amazing programs across the country and across the world. We do have some people who tune in from the UK, from Mexico, from Canada. So we kind of are an international group now, and I just really enjoy the community aspect of it now. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lottie McKinnon. I am the Program Director of Industry Relations and Education for Teleflora. So thank you for joining us. Christmas is my totally favorite time of year. I love the glitter. I love the craziness of it all. But before we get going, I just wanted to kind of give a few housekeeping. If you have questions, put them in the little Q&A function and we will get to them. Julie has kindly offered to take questions throughout the program. So please put them in the Q&A. If you want to kind of be encouraging and answer each other's questions, there's also the chat function, so we'd love to hear from you. And then I wanted to introduce a really, really special guest to you. He's actually going to be our guest judge, and I decided to ask him to join us a little sooner than we had previously talked about, but I've had so many emails and comments and Facebook messages about the design contest. So I wanted to put him on and ask him if he would give the instructions for the design contest. I want to introduce you all to my mentor, my brother, my surrogate dad, and up until a year ago, he was my daily confidant, and now it's at least twice a week confidant. So without further ado, I want to put Rich Salvaggio, AIFD on. Rich, will you turn on your camera so we can see you? Hi.
I just did. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Before I give the rules, I want to say that you've taken over from what I used to do, and I miss it very much. Hi, Cindy Reynolds. And you have moved, hi, Vonda, and you have moved it into such a wonderful programs in spite of what's going on in the world now. And you have done an absolutely unbelievable job.
Thank you.
And if I could clap for everybody, I'm clapping right now for everybody, but I'm clapping for you. All right. So, hi, Phil. I love this.
Great.
Yes, it is. All right. So there are only 4 rules for this contest, which makes it very easy. The first thing, designs must include 1 or more of the tips, techniques, or tricks that Joyce, Julie, and Vonda, because that's going to be Friday, or no?
No, it's not. That's more business. These are two.
Okay.
design.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Between Julie and Joyce, from their programs Monday and today. Designs must be suitable for delivery to a customer's home or office. So it means it can't be 700 pounds, because it means one person has to be able to carry it. No jacks to lift it or anything like that.
Darn it.
Photographs must be clear and with a solid neutral background. And I do want to tell you, white is good, gray is best. If you get just a plain gray sheet of paper and photograph in front of that, it will show all your colors for the best appreciation. And then designs must be minimum of 80% fresh flowers. So it's not, doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal, should not be 10 feet tall. All right. It should be showing things that you learned that now you're showing us how you're using it. And that's what we're looking for. To submit your entry via email, the email subject line must read Holiday Design Contest Entry. And then you have to include your name, shop name, email, and phone number. And just in a very short 2 or 3 sentences, describe the tip or trick that you learned and now used in this design. Pretty easy. And submissions are due Monday, October 12th by 5 p.m. Pacific time. And you send it to Lottie's email, which is lmckinnon@teleflora.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. And just so everybody knows, Rich will be one of the judges for the competition. So I can't wait to see what you all come up with. And nobody's stealing the broccoli with eyes, because that's mine. So I'm just saying. Without further ado, I do want to give a little shout out to these 2 amazing ladies, Michelle and Carol, who have stepped up and decided to sponsor today's program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle. She is our Big Apple unit president. Michelle, hi.
Hi, everyone. I am Michelle Camilleri from the Big Apple unit. I'm the owner of Southside Florist, located on the South Shore of Long Island in Amityville, New York. I've been a flower shop owner for about 3.5 years, and I am completely self-taught or learned from in-shop working how to be a designer. So these shows mean a lot to me. I know in our units, we usually do 1 or 2 a year. And this time we've been able to do, I don't know about you, but I've attended like 5, 6, 12. It's amazing how many that we can do. I've enjoyed every one of them. I have to say, no, I don't take everything I learn and bring it back to my shop, because some of these ideas, I just know they won't sell in my area, or I'm just don't have the venues to do them in. But I do learn something in every one of them, whether it's something I thought I already knew how to do or something I've learned to do better. They also have given me the opportunity to try things that I never thought I would do before. So I hope you enjoy going to these shows, whether it's in person or through the Zoom. Make sure you attend as many as you can while you have the opportunity, because they do usually cost a little money to attend. And right now you can see them all for free. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Carol D Stefanus, who is from the Rocky Mountain unit in Colorado. That's where she lives. So Carol, take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, everyone, or evening, depending on where you are. I am Carol D Stefanus. I own Arapahoe Floral, and I have been a floral designer for about 15 years, and have owned Arapahoe Floral for 6. We are located in one of the suburbs of Colorado, of Denver, and I have the pleasure this afternoon of introducing our presenter and Julie Poeltler. Julie calls Lone Tree, Iowa, I almost said Lone Tree, Colorado, Julie, home, where she owns her own design studio and specializes in weddings and special events. She's very accomplished, and we're very thrilled to have her today. She loves to help others with her lifelong learning and through her accomplishments through AIFD, PCFI, and Iowa Master Program. She has also worked on the Tournament of Roses, the Oscars, and 2 presidential inaugurations. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Julie, and take it away.
Thank you very much, Carol. Good evening and welcome. My name is Julie Poeltler, and I'd like to thank Teleflora for having me here this evening. And I'd like to also thanks Carol very much for that wonderful introduction. And with that in mind, this evening, we're going to talk about the holidays. We're going to talk about a little fall, little Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and little Kwanzaa. And before we get started with that, I just wanted to, when you got into your FSG kits, we got our industry planning calendar. And in this calendar, I know a lot of you do your planning a lot on the phone, but some of us have this beautiful calendar that Teleflora provides with the FSG, beautiful images of Teleflora product, also images of color combinations that they have, but also it gives you an update on when the clearinghouse statement's coming out. It also gives you when your reports need to be due, and it also tells you all the holidays on the back and the days of the week they have. So also keep this close by. Sometimes it's a good thing to jot down. It has plenty of space for you to write things down, but it's a good thing to keep in your shops just to keep current of what's happening in Teleflora on day-to-day business as an owner. Also, I just want to ask some on the POS system to go in there and go to the tools and go down to reports and choose the part in the reports about what blooming plants you sold last year. A lot because of our roller coaster ride with the what's going on in our lives right now. Some of the suppliers need to be contacted through to make sure that they're going to have enough poinsettias. And what you need to do is contact your client, making sure and keep talking to them because things have changed in their lives too. So get your poinsettias or your blooming plants ordered early so that you're not having any problems later closer to the holiday. Because that's one thing that haven't changed. December 25th is still going to be Christmas Day. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get started on some fall holiday work. Our first one, design we'd like to share with you, came to me from my friend Cindy Toll. She's also an educational specialist, and she showed this trick many, many years ago, but she used several different types of paper. But when I was planning for this program, I wanted to do things, and I wanted all of you to just look around your shops and see what is there to be creative with. Because now is a great time for getting ready for the holidays. We can take something that is old and we are so creative that we can reinvent it and make it new. So with this tip from Cindy, this is just a glass 4x4 square. And I just used a little bit of the wax paper that we have to wrap our flowers with. You can either cut it or you can tear it into little slices of paper. And when you do this, you're going to get such a nice little raw edge, and you'll have different sizes. Then you'll take your glue, and you could use adhesive by Oasis if you wish, or you can use Elmer's glue. And I chose to use Elmer's glue on this. You apply it onto the glass, and then grab your pieces of small papers and gently brush it so it'll adhere. And then you'll grab your next piece and apply it. If you need more glue, just lift up on the edge of the paper and slide it down. And then you might want to put a piece of paper maybe over the top, making a nice layer. So really, when you finish, it'll be sort of a stained glass type of look. You'll let the glue set up at least 24 hours. and it does refrigerate well. So when you have it done over 24 hours, you'll get an effect like this. Now I'm going to show you a larger one that's been finished. You can also, if you like, have it one color and it gives you a nice textural, or you can have it several or just a couple of colors. You're the creator designer. You decide what you like to have. But in the end, it sort of gives you a stained glass look, don't you think? If you want to add a ribbon, you may. Let's see if I go this way. Just to give it a little more finished look. And I'm just going to take a fall ribbon, straighten it out. And this I have had in and out of the cooler for the last week. If you have a little, I did forget to tell you, if you have a little flyaways on the paper, like this one here at the top, just take the Foliage Sealer by Design Master Paint, and you can smooth that down, and that will take care of those little flyaways. Also, you can take a little shellac, or you can spray the whole part of the whole container if you went in the same foliage sealer, and it'll seal it also nicely if you need a double adhesive. Now we're going to add the flowers. And I've already prepared for you a little hand tie, and you all do beautiful, beautiful hand ties. So I'm going to add the water into the container. And then I took 2 Aurelia leaves and the black cherry paint by Design Master Paint, just for flowers. I gave that more of a muted touch so that it's not so sharp, that bright green that we always see. It gave it more of a muted touch and more of that fall color to come into the design. Also used a couple of the permanent botanical picks. And then I'm going to cut the stem. And we're going to place it in the water. And there you go. Do you like? This is, I call it the stained glass sunflowers. Okay. Any questions, Miss Lottie?
No, everybody is just watching you, Julie.
Okay.
On, thank you.
Great. Very good. Okay, the next one is illumination. We're going to have a lot of illumination coming up for Christmas. It's starting already with Halloween. Everybody has their Halloween lights out and their ghosts, and everybody's going to get ready for Thanksgiving, so that orange lighting will still happen. But inside the house, like we are living in the northern part of the country, where it's now we've shut our doors and windows and turned on the furnaces, and we're listening to all those smells of candles and the crock pot with soup in it. We're getting into a precarious area when we're burning candles. So we want to tell our customers and remind them that a burning candle needs to not be left unattended. So make sure that when you're designing, you're pulling your materials away from the candlelight, even though it's going to be inside the glass, the flame. But make sure you don't have any dried materials or anything that's too close to the flame that's going to catch a fire. And always send a note. Send a note to the client with the design that says, please do not leave this candle unattended. Now, if you'd like, we can take the candle out. We can add a couple of branches to make the arrangement a little bit, have a little more creative interest and more of a sheltering effect. And then we can take a candle, and one of these is the new Patria candles by the Pete Garcia Company. The Patria candle is a 360-degree 3D flame that creates the flickering of glowing of real candle. So it comes with a remote. It has a dimmer, and it has several different switches for the hours. It comes in different sizes. It comes in a votive, it comes in pillar, and it comes in tapers. So you will see those just a little bit later. But for now, you get this illumination of this Patria candle, and you don't have to worry about any materials that's coming over as in a sheltering effect, such as this arrangement. It's very protected, and illumination is what it's all about. With the Patria candle, it's by the Pete Garcia Company. If you contact your supplier and cannot find the Patria candle, please call the Pete Garcia Company and they will help you find the supplier. So I hope you enjoy this collection of beautiful fall, autumn collection of pods and hedge apples. So the lotus pods are together as a cluster. The hedge apples are together as a cluster, and the cloth pumpkins are also clustered together. So we have lots of nice little groupings together to really enjoy all the product that is held closely together. The sheltering effect is just a contorted willow that I grow in my house. And then this little chestnut blossom is a permanent botanical. Now, when you're inserting the hedge apple, I will tell you, the hedge apple has a lot of different kinds of imperfections. So it doesn't hurt if you take a little bit of gold paint or a little bit of cherry wood tone or even black cherry just for flowers, and just spray a little just to covering the little nature's deflections that are on there. And when you're inserting it into the floral foam that we have here, just take the pointed end, and I always put the pointed end into the hedge apple. It's pretty soft toward the center of the bottom of the hedge apple. Then take your wire cutter and just cut at an angle. When you cut at an angle, then as you insert it into the floral foam, it will swell up, that wood pick will swell up with the water, and it will keep that heavy product very well stable into that floral foam. So make sure it's a wooden pick, because that's what makes that hold into place, is the wood. Okay, and so I hope that you enjoy it, and thank you very much. This is, I forget to tell you, it is a long rectangle wooden box. Okay.
Julie, we have a couple of questions about that. Would you mind putting it closer to the camera and leaving it so that we can take a look?
Sure, closer to the camera. Are you coming? Is it closer now?
Yeah, this is beautiful. Carla is asking, can you suggest a supplier for the hedge apples?
Well, I'm sorry. The hedge apples came out of my roadsidea in Iowa.
Oh, roadsidea.
So yes, roadsidea of Iowa. So that's a very good question. You know, but when before with Teleflora, when you traveled around, there were different suppliers that would have them. I would just contact your supplier to see. If not, have them call me and I'll ship them some.
Okay, thank you.
I'd be happy to ship them a few. It's just that the freights, they're heavy. So, but I'd be happy to ship them some.
But roadsidea is the supplier.
Yes.
I love that.
Iowa roadsidea.
Good.
Okay, great. Okay, next we're going to show you some series of wreaths, because wreaths are such a welcome decoration for your home. And a lot of these we have in our flower shops. They're just structures of wreaths that we have. So this is just a wooden structure of a wreath, and there's so many things that you could do with it. So you could have galvanized rings, you could have wood rings, you can have grapevine, you could have wire. There's several different forms that you can have, whether they're in your shop now, or maybe that's something that a customer has, or maybe the supplier has, and maybe it's just something new that you'll find them, but there's just different forms that you can make wreaths. On this one here, this is a galvanized wreath. And I applied all the preserved oak leaves with Oasis adhesive. And this was almost a little bit time consuming, but not a lot of time consuming when I put the preserved bleached leaves onto the galvanized ring. Then I used bark from a sycamore tree, and that is the bark that is here that I have split it apart and glued it on the end and then made it come out toward the the design this way. So it gave it more depth. And then I used a little bit of the star fern that was a fresh product, but it dried. So now it gives it a little more, another element of texture in the design. You can take this design and you can use it for the fall, but think of the possibilities for Christmas. So once you have this done, this is very muted and natural. Maybe there's something that you can add to it, maybe some pine cones, maybe you want some red ribbon to it for Christmas. You can change the look for the client just by making one for her now, and maybe adding to it for the Christmas holiday. So think of the avenues that you can go onto that. There's also some preserved ruscus into the design. Lottie, can they see that?
Yes, nice and close, please.
Okay. Okay.
Julie, do you typically sell a lot of wreaths in your shop?
Yeah, wreaths, we do. And a lot of people have been wanting these wreaths that I made out of the preserve, but I wanted to save them for the program. If some of them dry a little bit, I stick them back into the cooler and then bring them back. But I really want to feature them for the holidays here at the store, because I'm having trouble finding the bleached leaves.
Wow.
So that's why I've sort of saved it on that one there. But a lot of people do have a lot of wreaths that they make themselves. But I also did a class the last couple of years on wreath making with, design and wine nights. And I haven't decided how I'm going to do that this year, but people really enjoy making their own wreaths.
That's a great.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's a great idea. That's very popular here in LA too.
Okay. So on this structure here, on this one is it's wire. It's a wire frame, and it had some moss colored wire that went to it. And I just took a bunch of pine cones, and I think pine cones are like everywhere. And I took the pine cones and I glued them, or I wired them to this structure. And then I just added the dried materials of the broom corn that was once fresh, and we dried it, some of the pine needles, some brunia berry, and on the last part of it, to give this whole wreath a nice lift and more depth underneath. In January, there is a product called Deciduous Huck, and it dries just beautifully. And it has a beautiful line with the product that that yesterday when Joyce, or Monday when Joyce was playing with her spider webbing, a lot of times in arrangements, I'll take it and I'll spray it black, and I can do spider webbing trees for display or a customer's container. But it's a wonderful, wonderful product, but I can only get it through January to February. Then I buy extra products so I can use throughout the year. And it just, like I said, dries very nicely. So this is another wreath that what I'm saying is look around, see what you have. And if you have pine cones, they're pretty much free, that you can use them and make a lot of money. Okay. And on this one here, we're going to throw in a little holiday here. And this is just on a grapevine wreath. And this is just wool that we wrapped around a grapevine wreath. If you do not have any wool, make sure that you look at, maybe there's the trend now is that sweater material. A lot of people are wearing very heavy sweater material, or you're seeing sweater, like in the little snowman mug that Teleflora has coming up. It's got a sweater pattern in the hat. You could even take a scarf or something like that to, if you don't have wool to you, and think about maybe a scarf that it would be fun that you can wrap around a grapevine wreath. It's very lightweight and easy. Then I took bind wire by Oasis, this wire here, or not bind wire, metallic wire by Oasis, the silver, and wrapped it. And then I used the mega beads by Oasis and wrapped it. So there's no gluing on this. This is all wrapped and wrapped with the mega wire or the metallic wire. So the concept of everything not having any gluing in, it's really quite fun. I did go ahead and corsage pin a few things in so they stabilized in place. Any questions?
No, that's beautiful, Julie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next one. And the next one is our Teleflora Bountiful Blessing container. It's a ceramic container and it's all glazed all the way through. It's FDA approved and it's a beautiful, beautiful container that it comes in those gray tones and a little bit of lavender and creams. Okay. This container will hold about 2/3 of a block of foam and about 4 cups of water. So with that in mind, we're going to make a grid. And we're going to take any kind of branch, whether it's bittersweet vine or curly willow vine. The vine that I'm using is curly willow. And we're going to take just some vine wire and look and make sure that it ties in place so it doesn't come off. And you can, if you have any kind of branch work, like even birch branches, or if you can do that also. Okay, and now we're just going to add the grid to the design. You may use ferning pins if you like, and all I have is this 4-inch wood pick, so I'm just going to use this and then I'll cut it. Sometimes I think the 4-inch wood pick is a little bit more stable, and then I'll cut it off and I'll save the ends and use the ends for something later on. And when you're making a grid, it just sort of comes out and added more texture to the design. Grids are fun to make because it changes the whole type of container that you're using. So I'm just going to add a couple of these into I better cut those. And again, when you're using a wood pick, make sure they go in at an angle, and then you can adjust how you wish. Now you're ready to design. And that, again, that grid isn't going to move because those wood picks is going to lock it into place. If you use ferning pins or a heavy wire, I would suggest that you use a little bit of Oasis adhesive to put into that placement so that that grid doesn't pull away in case whoever's delivering it might pull on it. And now here we go. This is our finished project. And as you can see underneath, there is my grid. And then I just added, and think about this, we're just using seeds and berries. Not a lot of flowers, but just hypericum berry, Montbrisia pods, seeded eucalyptus, and a little fabric pumpkin, and a little bit of spiral eucalyptus. But how fun is that? And it's going to last a long time in the client's home with the beautiful colors of just the seeds and berries.
Would you mind tipping that slightly towards the camera so that we can
Sure, we'll tip it toward the camera. Yeah. How's that?
Thank you. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, when you're getting ready to do your holidays, and I'm bringing this one up for Kwanzaa, and I wanted to talk about Kwanzaa, and I wanted to talk about gift baskets, because gift baskets going to be really big this year because a lot of people are not going to be able to celebrate. How we celebrate the holidays is going to change, but the holidays remain the same. So with this in mind, the gift basket, if they can't be there and they want to send something, fruit baskets or gift baskets of all sorts, please put them on your social media pages or please put them on your websites. It's a great idea as a substitute rather than having fresh flowers. Maybe some people have dietary food that they have to watch out for. So be careful, when you're buying these, like look at sugar-free foods or dairy-free foods. They're all packaged for healthy choice foods. It's always great. In this basket, the first thing I wanted to tell you is when we built the basket, it's just in a wooden box. But what I used is when we have things left over, you have the paper sleeve left over from your plants that you received, the brown ones, the light, that some of people happen to have brown ones or they have colored ones. Well, these are the paper ones, and I didn't want to cut them, but I would probably take a like a craft scissors and give them a different edge. But I wanted to share it with you as you look at it, that those are the pouches to the plants. And then I added the food and everything in the paper down into the pouch. So everything will stay in place. It's not going to sort of fall out. Because sometimes this the cellophane gets really wrinkled and it's hard to deliver sometimes. So if you're doing something open and something festive, then it takes a better shot when you're doing it in the for a camera to put it on your website. Then you've got the food all sitting here, and you can move this around, and most of the food is staying in. There's packaged food, and there's also fruit. So with Kwanzaa, that holiday happens from December 26th to January 1st. And it's very bright colors, lots of red and black and green, yellow and orange. And I found these beautiful greeting cards. And they came, I will tell you, they did come from Amazon. But what a nice idea to put with it for as a gift for the Kwanzaa holiday. Not only have a beautiful basket, but you also have a nice note card for them to enjoy. So I hope you like it. Thank you.
Julie, thank you. We have a question.
Yes.
For somebody who has not been doing gift baskets in,
yes,
ever in the past, what are some do's and don'ts for you? Your main do's and don'ts with doing gift baskets?
Well, the one thing that I would, if you're going to do gift baskets, I would start very small. Don't get a lot of inventory in, especially, just keep it small. Sort of, maybe you can partner up with other people. Maybe there's another shop or another area that you can partner up and exchange merchandise. So if you have, I'm very fortunate that I do flowers for a small gourmet shop, and they have things that we can do some trading. But if you're going to, I would just keep it small, and I would ask all the right questions when you do it. Maybe the first time or the second time, you're not going to make a lot of money because you're going to go out and gather all this, because you have to gather all of this. But I found some places that there's the place that I went to is called Healthy Gourmet, and it's out of New York, and they're all wonderful foods. So I think the minimum order was $200. I bought everything I liked, and if it didn't sell, I know I can eat it all. So that is sort of something that I would do, but this little gourmet thing that I found online, it's really delicious. I really like it. But I just took this step, and I thought, you know what? I've never done this, but I do sell candy and things like that. And this is what it looks like. This is the buffalo, hot buffalo wild wing dip. But this is called Healthy Gourmet Choices, and they're I think they're quite fascinating, and it's very good food. So you can start small, but buy what you like, because if you don't sell it, then guess what? You get to have it.
That's
okay.
Genius. Thank you.
Does that answer?
Genius.
Okay. Now our next thing, we're going to talk about maybe decorations in our home. And we know that there's many, many placements. Every placement from the mailbox to the gate, to the fence, to the front door, on both sides of the door, the wreath, you open the door, there's the foyer, there's placements in the home, sofa tables, kitchen, the bathroom, and you go all the way outside because there's so much activity on the back porch and the fire pits. So many designers in my world have done beautiful, beautiful work on floral art on the wall. So I just want to share with you, maybe there's a display in your store. I don't know how many of you are going to be doing open houses, or if you're allowing people to come in or not, but we're going to talk about that virtual open house. And I'm going to have one. I just haven't put it all together what I'm going to do. I think sometimes I'm going to do it a week, one day, for once a week, every day for a week, or maybe it's just going to be one day. I haven't totally decided. But the virtual open house, if you're going to do it, I think that you need to start with several of different things that you, don't be afraid is one thing. If you haven't talked in front of a camera, it's okay. Because when you do a virtual open house, you want to first go to Facebook or your social media and put it in as an event. And when you put it as an event, then you've committed yourself. So now you got to talk in front of the camera. And so now you're going to do one section of your store and make it a display, the most beautiful display that you want. Maybe it's just a Christmas tree and you have beautiful ornaments to sell. You're going to stand in front of the Christmas tree and these beautiful ornaments, and you're going to talk real slowly and talk about everything that you have in that one display. It may last 15 seconds. It may last 15 minutes, whatever, but your customers are going to be there and they're going to buy whatever you're asking them to, whatever you're showing them. So maybe you can offer them prizes or discounts or something else along the way for those virtual open houses. But in that, this is where this is coming. So here is just a plant department. And there's so many people that are plant parents now. We learned that from Renee Tucci. We had Planned Parenthood. So, you know, I decided that since Renee got me all excited about Planned Parenthood, I'm going to make this display. So my brother-in-law, Dwayne, made this frame, made it out of very inexpensive wood. He first applied the chicken wire that he stapled to the back, and then there was landscaping material that covers the back of the chicken wire. Then I took a bur oak branch from the bur oak tree, and I was taking a Hitomi class once, and she told me, what do you see when you look out your window? And this is my interpretation of what that looks like. And then I used the willow. And then I used a couple little hanging pods from Syndicate Sales, the little moss orbs. And then I had these little boxes because I looked around the store and I thought, what can I use? Well, I have these little boxes. So my sister and her husband, Dwayne, came up with this, and I would have normally covered this, but this is just a 3M hook on the back side of the boxes. And then they make a frame. And then they don't hang up. Okay. And then we take a little miniature orchid, and it's make a little kokodami. And we learned that from Jenny Tomlinson. And we hang that up into its little frame. And then we take a couple more, and the little boxes just act as a frame. I added a little rock just for a little texture. And then I'm going to use some fresh pepperberry because I know that that will dry later, but it'll give it a nice little attachment. And if I was taller, I could reach it all the way to the top. And just about got it. There. There. So now it's very organic and it's ready for a display. So I hope that just gives you an idea of what you can do for one of your displays at the store and become, and you can also have more plant parent people. Any questions?
No, that's such a cute idea. Thank you, Julie.
Uh-huh. This is the Teleflora Autumn Colors container. It's 4 3/4 inch high. It holds about a 1/3 block of foam, and it holds 3 cups of water. So on this, it's a beautiful ceramic container that is shaped like a birch log. So in this, I went in and I added 4 more little miniature orchids. I placed them inside the container, and I took a bamboo, a piece of dried bamboo that I had, wrapped it in beautiful yarn. So the yarn reflects the pattern again of the birch at the bottom. Then I added this little curly willow branch right to the top of that. The top of that bamboo. Now I've taken off all the structures that the little orchid has. And I'm just wrapping it loosely with the bind wire. And so all these little come down. And they tie. And I need one more piece of pepperberry because I used it all. And this makes a nice home gift for someone who loves orchids. But the container does hold 4 of the little miniature ones. At this time, I left the little plastic containers on the bottom of the orchids. And then I just want one more piece of pepperberry, just for added color. And there you go. A beautiful gift for the home of miniature orchids in the autumn colors Teleflora container.
That's gorgeous, Julie. Would you mind holding that close up so we can see
Uh-huh.
the mechanics at the
Sure.
top? Thank you.
Mark, they wanted a little bit closer. Mhm.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so on this one, we have the Winter's Eve Teleflora container. It holds about 2/3 block of foam, and I've already placed it in the container, and also the waterproof tape, I've taped it down. Joyce was talking about the space hogs, and those are in the center. And I've just added, I will add 3 of these. And again, I will use a wire pick, thread it through the hole. And place in the top. And again, that's going to stay in place. So like Joyce had explained, those space hogs take up all the room, so you don't have to worry about the middle of the container. So in the back, now, one of the fun treatments that I always like doing is making a basket out of ruscus. So I have 2 pieces of Italian ruscus, sliding it into the center or on the ends, bringing it over to the side. So now I've highlighted those Christmas ornaments in the middle. You can take a little bit of bouillon, or you can take binding wire. And today I'm just going to use a little bit of binding wire and attach it. You can trim it out if it gets a little bit too much of Italian ruscus. And also Italian ruscus doesn't have much of a fragrance. So this is the finished product right here. And the reason I chose this is because a lot of people have allergies. So we have to be very careful of allergies. So I've used some artificial evergreen here and an artificial pick, but otherwise the foliages are the leftovers from the Italian ruscus. The hydrangeas and the red carnations are in here also. But keep in mind too, when you're selling on the phone, make sure that you're asking all the questions. Make sure that there are no allergies, and a lot of care facilities do not accept anything with pine or evergreen in it. So be very knowledgeable on that when you're asking all the questions when you're trying to sell the arrangement. Okay, and that's the Winter's Eve collection.
We'd love to see that up
The blue
close
one.
as well, please, Julie.
The blue one. Okay, did they get it? Can you see that, Lottie?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. How we doing on time, Lottie?
Oh, you're good, darling. We can listen to you all day long.
Okay, okay, the blue one. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, this is the Teleflora Gemstone Art Glass. And we're going to, there we go. All right. So when you're shopping out there, I bought this last year, and a lot of times this was for like a tree topper, and you know, you had to buy 12 of them. And I go, but I loved them because they have all wires in them. So you never know how you can use it. So when you're adding your hand ties, it makes a nice grid for you to hold on to. These hydrangeas have been dusted just gently with Just for Flowers blue hydrangea. But the art glass by Teleflora, this beautiful ombre colors is going to be perfect for that Hanukkah style design I want to use for the home. So once I add this, then you don't need to pick up another wire. You can just wire right around. So when you're buying merchandise, think about if it hasn't sold, figure out, man, there's something else I can use this for, and I can use this as a hand tie. If it gets too going all sorts of crazy directions, just take a pencil and individually wrap them around your finger or an object like a Sharpie pen or a pencil, and then it gives you a lot of character to it. So with the finished project, here we are, a beautiful arrangement for the home for Hanukkah. It has the blue hydrangea. I'll let you take that one. And it has some beautiful eucalyptus and a couple added snowflakes for that wintry look, because a lot of homes also do not have red and green. So that's another question you get to ask when you're selling on the phone. What are the colors in your home? So I hope you like it with the beautiful art glass vase by Teleflora. This is the mercury glass pedestal vase that we've used for a number of years by Teleflora. This is just a beautiful arrangement of preserved ruscus and acacia, dendrobium orchids, blue delphinium. But on here, I wanted to share with you, when you want to use your candlelight, here comes the Patria candles in the tapers. And look how beautiful they are. They do not fit into the little candle element that we use on regular candles, but they do have a nice ridge that they go slightly into the foam. There is I do have like a couple little wood picks there to stabilize them down when they reach to the bottom. So there they are. And now you know, now you can build up to the top of the arrangement and not be worrying about tapers burning. So if you want something a little higher. So when you have battery powered candles, you can, that will be wonderful for you to look at. That 360-degree 3D flame creates the flickering glow just like a real candle. Okay, there you are.
Would you just hold that up to the camera for us so we can see the gorgeous?
Yep. Can you see it again, Mark? Hold it up.
Thank
Good.
you. Beautiful.
This is the Winter Wishes arrangement by Teleflora. It's a little 5-inch high cylinder. It's got beautiful etchings on the outside of trees and wildlife. But I just wanted to share with you what a beautiful king protea can be all by itself in this beautiful container. The grid itself is just aluminum wire by Oasis that I just sort of crumpled together with my hands. Then I laid it down into the glass, and then I just gently pinched it over to the top to make sure that it's not going to slide off the glass. But king proteas are highly on the high end side, but again, they last a long time, but they're very subtle, and all you need sometimes is just one flower to make a statement. So this is the little vase by Teleflora. And I forgot the name. Winter's Eve. Thank you. Okay, give me the coming home. Now, sometimes you get to have enhancements to certain designs. So we're going to bring out the Thomas Kincaid collection, and we're just going to enhance this design a bit. So what we're going to do, we're just going to use a wood round. And then we're going to use a wreath that we have in the store. And we're going to just place it onto the wood round. Okay, there we go. And then the Thomas Kincaid comes with a nice oval dish like this. And once you put the 2 sets of foam in, it's really nice because you can really get the water in on all 4 around the sides, front, back, and on the 2 ends, if the customer wishes. You also have to make sure that you're telling the customer that this is floral foam. They're very used to having vases of water. So make sure that you're putting a little card in it that says water daily. All right. Now we're going to finish and just add the Thomas Kincaid collection. And of the pine and the carnations, the cranberry berries. We have a little bit of blue thistle. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to add a flag. And this is Heroes Welcome. So I hope you like the new collection for Christmas for the Thomas Kincaid.
Wow, Julie, the perceived value of that, I mean, that is stunning and probably is quite heavy as well. It's a real showstopper. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But again, you're going to be asking the questions. I mean, you could make that, but also that maybe it's something that the customer already has. You have a lot of collectors of the Thomas Kincaid. So, you know, asking all the right questions if they want something to go with it for the year. I know I have a couple customers that bring their other ones in and have them dressed up for the holidays. So you could suggest that along the way. What are the things they can do to just enhance them? Does that make sense?
Perfect. Julie,
all right.
The wood
Yes.
wreath, did you make that?
No, that is actually, that is from Accent Decor. And I forgot to check to see if they still sell that. I am not sure if they do, but that is a beautiful Accent Decor wreath.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, ready? Oh, we need the mugs. The mugs. Okay, so another enhancement too is the new Snowman. This is the new Snowman ornament. It's 7 inches high, 6 inches wide. I've already put in some bunny tails and some hydrangea. And again, we talked about that beautiful pattern of the sweater. It's very detailed here. So I just thought that since in Iowa, all these young girls are running around with big pom-poms on top of their stocking hats. So I think we needed to enhance it with a big pom-pom. So that's all there is to it, is rather than just have, it would give it a new little life, but it gets another little dimension. So it makes it cute and sweet, and someone will really love that new ornament, the new Snowman ornament by Teleflora.
That's super cute, Julie. I'm sure that those are an easy sell for you.
Okay, the next one is the North Pole Cafe mug. This one I really think is cute. This holds a lot of cocoa and it'll hold a lot of coffee, and it'll keep your hands like really warm if you come up to Iowa and visit me. I'll be serving you in it. Okay, so this is so cute because it's got a little candy cane pole on the front. So when I was working with it, I was so happy that Lottie sent me 2 of everything. And I thank you for that. So I got thinking, okay, I need a candy cane. So this is great. We got a candy cane. And then I go, this just doesn't look right. So I'm playing with the candy cane, and all of a sudden I go this way, and then I go boom. And I went, yeah, it's a candy cane pole. So then I decided to take my little orb and use a little adhesive, but I found out the glue dot was much better. So I put the glue dot on, add a couple pieces of ribbon, and that glue dot and a little piece of the adhesive that I have on there will cover the mechanics, and then it'll also all adhere together. So in case you don't get it knotted all the way, that ribbon will hold on. Then I added a little bit of jingle, just because my name's Julie, and they were all ready for us to design in the arrangement. And here we go. This is our finished project. So here's the little snowberries that's in it that makes it nice and happy and reminds me of myself, and all the little red carnations. So this is the North Pole Cafe Bung by Teleflora for this year.
Julie, that's so cute. You always have a little Dr. Seuss thing going on over there.
Yeah, well, I sort of like that guy.
I love that. Just quickly before you move on, Julie, Joyce Mason Monheim, thank you, Joyce. She said that wood wreath is available from Accent Decor still. It's called the Peg Wreath.
Great, thank you, Joyce.
Yeah, thank
you. Because I did forget to check in on that. Okay, so as I'm getting ready, just remember this little guy back here, he is leftover little pumpkins, your little white pumpkins. Just stack them up. 1, 2, 3 different sizes. My sister made this, she made it into a little snowman, and then add all your collection together. And this is what you're going to talk about when you have your virtual open house. Then I get this wonderful remote control. I'm loving this. And there they go. And I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very profitable New Year. And thank you, Teleflora, for having me this evening. And thank you all for coming in.
Julie, thank you so much. You are awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. My head is going to be exploding again. I will be off buying things. I'm sure my husband's going to be thrilled. But listen, I did want to thank you for all your hard work. I know it's not always easy, particularly as we're talking about Christmas and Thanksgiving already, and it's only the beginning of October. So I know that that's not always easy to put that hat on straight away. But obviously,
you know what? I was really glad that you had me do it, because it really gave me a boost, and that's what I needed. So thank you.
I love it. Julie, thank you so much. Again, for everybody that's watching and listening,
thank you.
We want you to succeed. That's what all of these programs are all about. It's important to let your customers know that you're open for the holidays, obviously, and thank you to you. Thanks for everybody for listening. I will be emailing out a copy of the rules for the design contest. Before you go off screen, Julie, we just did have one person asking if you could hold up that frame that you did earlier with the orchids. Is it possible for you to
yes.
hold that up?
Yes, Carolyn, we need the frame from the orchids. Yes, we'll be happy to do that. And if they want me to send them a picture, I can do that too.
Yes, let's do that. Let's put some photos up.
Mark, could we have that frame? Yeah, because I'll be happy to do that. We'll bring that closer to the camera.
Awesome, thank you. But
thank you.
I wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on Friday. We're going to start a little bit earlier. Oh, there we go, everybody. Oh, wow. Thank you. That's gorgeous.
Is that good? And then if she wants a picture, I'll be happy to mail it to her.
Yes, let's put.
I can do the front and the back so they can see how it was constructed.
I love it. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everybody. We will see you on Friday at noon Pacific. Vonda Lefevre is going to be doing some amazing phone and in-shop selling tips. You will not want to miss that. So thank you, everybody. We will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you again. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.